that's what I listen to mostly. Okay, but if um, if a song is good, if it doesn't matter which genre you can ascribe it to, in my opinion, okay, because there are wonderful pop songs or jazz songs or other genres. I think that if I should, if I could decide, I would like to, in the future, to write music that can be, liked and listened to, not only by metal fans, but also by people who are used to other kinds of music. Because to me, finding, the recipe to reach a wider audience, to reach the heart of the people, regardless of what they usually listen to. That's the goal every artist should aspire to. Okay. I don't know if I'm answering your question. I'm just, giving you a wide, picture of what I think and what I am. But basically, I'm a singer. I don't consider myself a pianist anymore, even though I still play. Sometimes I was a classical pianist, but now it's just I use the piano to write songs. Okay. I also I don't know if I should consider myself a proper composer. Not really. It's just something I do by inspiration, not really by, I don't have any studies, any background, any background as a composer. So I'm not, I wouldn't say that I'm a composer, but in the last few years, just even though I have been writing songs since I was basically in middle school, just for fun. In the last few years, I realized that the things that I write can be good, can be appreciated, So that's another thing I'd like to, develop more. Okay, I'd like to develop more my composer side and not be just a performer. Okay, because that's where you find your satisfaction. The biggest satisfaction is writing music and performing it and seeing people appreciate it. That's the best. But at the moment, I still need people, musicians, and proper composers to help me, give a proper shape to what I write. Otherwise, the form in which I originally write the songs is more like popish. I don't know, ballad style. No, I still can't see them as metal songs, but as I write them, when I first write them. But there I can, at least shape the original material. That I can do. Okay.
But it's really good. So
there's still a long way to go, but that's what's interesting, constantly learning to do new things. That's what I like. I started from singing classical music, and then, just a few years ago, I wasn't able to sing with my chest voice. I had to go and study with some teachers, take some classes, and develop this sound that it's still developing. I'm really happy that I believe that I haven't reached, a plateau where I can't grow anymore. I still always find, room to improve. And that's what's best of being an artist. To me, you have, finding new experiences, finding new way to improve yourself with your instrument, and other aspects of music life. So there's much to learn, always room to improve. Otherwise, I don't know, where's the fun if you still do the same things over and over? At least when you're alone with yourself, you should, appreciate your little improvements and new challenges, even though maybe from the outside this is not apparent, but I think that's what gives me, at least, the biggest satisfaction, knowing that I'm still improving little by little, so that when I look back at some years ago, I can see how long the road was, and how many things I have done, even if the random guide, this is not that clear, but it is clear to me. So I'm happy so far, and I will be happy for what I'll be doing in the future.
And we see that. And with what word would you define yourself? One word.
Define my what? Sorry.
With what word would you define yourself? What do you
Um,
want?
do you mean a song, an album?
No,
What is
an adjective or something like that.
an adjective for my
Yes.
work? Oh, it's difficult with just an adjective. Um,
Or two.
no. um, no, sorry. I just need a minute. As, besides what I have already said, that's uh, always changing and improving, and but emotional maybe, because emotions are very important for me as a performer, but also as a writer, composer. So yeah, sentimental in a way, because I found that people who know me and come to my concerts, they really appreciate that I can communicate emotions and feelings well. And I know I do because it's, very, it's like a wave when I sing. It's something that, you know, something so that it's very almost overwhelming sometimes when I am really invested in it, and people notices it when I perform. So I think that's the best part of performing live. Having a way to communicate, truly communicate your emotions to the audience, to the crowd, and they always they always receive it if you are genuine, if you're not like acting or thinking, if you are distracted, and even if you are singing very well, people are not that invested in the performance. And I can say this even as a, spectator when I go to other live shows. If the singer is emotionally invested in what he is singing, you hear it, you feel it. So I think that's the root of my work on what I do as an artist, is communicate emotions and feelings, and this should be uh, the basis, of making music. you make music because it's important to you. It moves yourself, but also uh, you are aiming at moving the people who listen to you. So that's emotional, sentimental, and something like that, I would say.
If I go to one of your shows, you will see me like this.
Yeah, it's wonderful when people cry. Not because I'm like sadistic that I want to say to see people cry, but um, crying is tears are cathartic. They just it's a release of tension and emotion. I am a big crier in my everyday life. I can cry because of joy, because of sadness, because of all kinds of feelings. So when I see people in the crowd doing that, I think,
You think
okay,
that
this has worked well. Yeah, yeah. I've cried at concerts when I was in the audience, of course. Okay, so I've done it myself. It's wonderful. You feel truly alive, in my humble opinion.
we can swim in tears?
Not so much, maybe. Not to become desperate, but a little tear. Yeah, that's good. That's
Either or not, nor that little.
good. Okay, but sometimes it's good even to see people laugh when you say silly things between songs. Okay, not too much because otherwise it's cringy. But every now and then to make people laugh is also good.
So, as you said, you come from a classical and lyrical background. How did your transition into metal and what made you fall in love with this genre?
Okay, I had been listening to metal for a while because I was lucky that I had three older brothers who were metalheads. Because otherwise, I don't know, I would have come to it much later, maybe because I didn't have any friends who were into rock or metal when I was a girl, basically. So I listened to it to Iron Maiden and Gamma Ray and Halloween and Angra, at home with my older brothers. I was not so. I listened to it. I enjoyed it, but I was not super invested as I was, as a listener later when I grew up. Um, I've always loved Nightwish. Um, that's another band they introduced me to. I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't super fun at the beginning, but then they grew on me, and I found out that I was able to sing Taria's songs without any effort at home, just for fun. And I find it very funny. No, sorry, fun and not funny. Very fun to sing that at home. And so I was listening to them, and I also start listening to Epica and After Forever. And also I was listening at the time at Live Size, not Live Size. I don't know. They were called Theater of Tragedy. It was Theater of Tragedy.
Oh,
So before Live Size,
I love them.
and within Temptation and all the female fronted Lacuna Coil a little less. And there was okay I there was a long period when I didn't almost didn't sing because I have a problem with one of my left ear. um, I have tinnitus, the whistle, because I had some damage. I was playing in pop rock cover bands when I was a teenager and went to disco, disco
Oh,
pubs, disco places, and also I had some otitis when I was a child. So I basically damaged my ear, and doctors told me I shouldn't ever put a foot in a rehearsal room. So rehearsal room or a club. And I listened to them when I was in my early 20s. I was just, doing some choir music and taking some private classical music lessons. But I really missed performing with a band. And at some point, very late, very much later, I saw, that they were looking for a singer for a Nightwish tribute band. And I thought, I should at least try because this is my dream. I thought, no, I was at that moment, I was not in touch with the underground scene of my city and of my country in general. I just knew the more famous bands. And so I didn't know it was a thing, Nightwish tribute bands. And so I auditioned. They took me in. I found it very fun and entertaining, and I thought that I could really do it, and that was the case. And so I started there, and then my keyboardist, sorry, I just lost it's emotion, it dropped. My keyboardist at the time, he had an original Gothic metal band, and he told me, "You're the right fit for my other band too, so come and audition for us." And so I started from there, to knowing that there was an underground scene with original metal songs in Italy. And I found that it was also very interesting, to do original songs. So that band was called Chakra. It still exists. And from there, after Chakra, I was with them for about 1 year, and after that I moved to Holy Shire. It's another local band, folk fantasy metal band, and then after that was couple years. Then it was the time when Degrees of Truth asked me to join, and that was the big step for me because it was when later I started to write the songs with them. So that was, the further step, in doing new things after, gaining some experience on Italian stages and something in Switzerland, but not much. And with Degrees of Truth, we just performed in Italy, basically, but we had the big signing with Scarlet Records. I released my first album with them, and also this brought me a series of collaborations. I started, recording from home as a little home studio. There were Silent Angel in the meantime who reached out to me. So many things. If you do one thing and one thing after another, word of mouth, and people talk and people research you, and new opportunities come. And so through Silent Angel and then Furor Gallico this year, I finally had some experience on European stages and also Japanese stages. So it was my first experience touring extensively. So I'm very happy that year after year, I've always had some new things, new challenges. And also another thing that I did, I had to I had the opportunity to be a replacement for Spleen Orchestra, who is a band here in Italy that does musical theater from Tim Burton's movies, and that was a wonderful experience in Germany. Because it involved the costumes and changes and dancing and a little bit of acting. So it really doesn't limit to metal. If something is interesting for some reason, I want. I'll be I'll be eager to do it. It doesn't have to be metal. That is my favorite genre. But if the project has its own value, I'm still available and eager to do it. So that's what I did basically. So piano first, then classical singing, and then it was a very smooth transition because of that. The thing that said that they were looking for for an Irish tribute singer, and then one thing after another, and now I'm because with Degrees of Truth we had some progressive metal influences. I'm looking to do more in that genre because I find it very stimulating, and also it's very open to experimentation, while maybe other metal music genres are more strict, about what you have to do to appeal to the audience in that niche. So maybe in progressive metal you can, try and do something different and see what happens if people like it or not. So it's stimulating and challenging. So I'm looking in the future to do something even more in progressive metal.
What would you say is your favorite progressive metal band?
Metal ballad? No, sorry. What?
What would you say is your favorite progressive
Metal
metal
band. Metal band. Favorite of all time.
band?
Although it's difficult to find one, but I really love Symphony X. Symphony X. Sorry, Symphony X. Symphony X and Epica. Okay, you've asked me one. I told you two.
You can say more of one.
I know. Um, I like many bands the same, but if I should choose one, I would say Symphony X because they were important in my background, and Epica too, and Nightwish too, of course. After Forever also, they don't exist anymore, but I really love them. And Camelot, Sonata Arctica. And more obscure ones like Pain of Salvation, more on the progressive side. Pain of Salvation, Shadow Gallery, and lately I have been listening a lot to Leprous, to Haken, and lately also Ancient Bards because they released a new album. But I love Sara Squadrani. I think she's my favorite female metal singer after Florian's. Okay, the favorite Italian one. That is for sure because she has a wonderful voice, and also it's not a typical metal voice. She's very has a like soul blues and very powerful voice, but you see, she's not the typical female metal singer. And also Beyond the Black. I love Beyond the Black. Okay, I've told you some. I can go on and on and on. What's
I
your favorite metal band? I want to know what are your favorite metal bands?
progressive metal, it would be Lepros.
Mm,
And from the other ones, I love Theater of Tragedy, Evanescence, With Intentation, Lacuna Coil. I love
of
Christina
course.
Style
Okay.
and things like that.
Mm.
But I like too many
Yeah, you
genres.
too. Yeah,
Yeah. I
I
was
see.
trying you in Spanish. And who would you say are your favorite, your influences, apart from Flor Jansen and Simon Simons?
Okay, Simone Simmons from Epica, she influenced me a lot because thanks to her, I found out I could use the middle register in singing. Uh, I didn't know what I was doing. At the same, I for a very brief time I had also an Epica tribute band because I find their songs very easy to sing because I'm comfortable in that register. Knows how to use because I had to study to get a proper chest voice with proper strength because naturally I was singing with my head voice and with this middle register that she has. So she was a big influence in singing, big influence. And other from that, I wouldn't know because I think I take a little from everything I listen to, something here, something there. But if I should mention a band that is not metal and that was very, very important to me growing up, it was Roxette. Roxette, the Swedish band from the late 1980s, 1990s. Um, when I write songs, I can hear them sometimes what I write. The the musicality, the popish vibes. Yeah, I still like them very much. So maybe Roxette and Queen, of course, growing up, and you know uh, about piano, Chopin, and Bach, and Mozart, the famous ones, basically. And I don't know who else. Singing, classical singing, Cecilia Bartoli. She's a famous soprano. And I wouldn't know anyone else. There are probably many others, but these are the ones who come to my mind right now.
And how do you balance two projects that are so different in style and energy?
Sorry, I didn't hear you well. My fault. Sorry.
How do you balance two projects that are so different in style and energy? Silent Angel and Furor.
Gallico. Well, for Gallico, I'm actually a session singer, so it's just live shows at the moment. And okay, I was in this band I mentioned before that was Holy Shire in Italy, and they are more similar to Furor Gallico because they are two folk metal band in a way. They have the flute too, and so I was not new to the genre, okay, but of course the Silent Angel is okay. I was a performer, just a performer for them too, up till now. Now it's different because we are writing the songs for the new album. Uh, I okay. Of course, it's not about the genre, but it's about the style of singing. To join Furor Gallico, I had to practice a lot and find my voice, the right voice to use with them, because I was used to sing lighter vocal lines, more in the head, less. Okay, that's not really true because with Silent Angel and also with the Degrees of Truth, I did some rock vocals, but for some reason it was different, and it made me grow, as I told you before. Every new thing that I do, it makes me grow in a way, and so I had to study for to find the right voice to use in live shows with them. So that's what was the biggest challenge. Not difficult, but it took some time to adjust and find the right way to perform with them. Um, but about the genre, I like them. It's not. I am not much into extreme music. They tend to be paired with when we perform. They tend to be paired with more extreme metal bands. Sometimes like they do black metal or death metal, and I'm not really that much in those genre, but somehow they are more melodic. Furor Gallico, they have some more melodic tunes that I find very enjoyable, but I also love the more aggressive ones as well. But there's some variety there. Sometimes with extreme groups, it just tends to, you know, sound the same, very aggressive from the start to the end. And okay, sometimes it makes me it sounds a little boring to me, but it's my opinion, my taste. I don't judge. I don't judge. It was just that I didn't grow up with extreme musical genres, and so I like some things, but uh, I wouldn't go to those kind of festivals. But with Furor Gallico, it's different. As I told you, they have some variety, and there's the flute and the harp, and so they can be melodic, very melodic sometimes. So it's different to me. I really enjoy listening to them and also playing their songs. And yes, this is different from Silent Angel. Silent Angel, especially this album we released together, Unyielding, Unrelenting, is a little old school sometimes, old school power heavy metal, because some of the songs were written many years ago. Some are newer, but some were written many, many years ago, and they were just, brought out again and then, rearranged and reproduced. And so they have not their old style, but in a good way, And so they remind me or about the bands I was telling you before that I was listening when I was a kid at home. So classic power heavy metal. So of course, I enjoy this was a challenge too at the beginning for me to sing those kind of music, especially because vocal melodies were written for the previous singer, and they were very low. I sing very low with them. Also very high sometimes, but most of the times I'm in my lowest range. So I had to become accustomed to also singing my lowest vocal notes. And this was especially challenging when we went touring in Asia, because one thing, is singing songs when you in the studio, and another thing is performing live, maybe uh, several nights in a row. And so I had to really train myself. But every different experience has its, good sides, things that I enjoy, and things that I enjoy a little less. But yeah, I think we did a good work, a good job in the end. So I don't mind. On the contrary, it's better to diversify, um, it's more interesting to do things that are different. We're still talking about metal in the end. We're not like talking like I don't know, doing rap and doing metal music and doing. Sometimes I still sing classical music when occasionally, maybe uh, 2 3 times a year, it happens that they ask me to do some classical concerts. So I still do them. I still like them. So there's really no limit. Who knows what will happen in the future? I told you I did a little bit of musical. I also did some master classes in musical theater, because it's something I really enjoy it as a spectator, but also I would like to do it again as a performer. It hasn't happened um, again yet, unfortunately, but I would like to do that again. And so I'd like to do different things. But who knows? Okay, I've tried sometimes, to do a little growl and more aggressive vocals. But I think there's much work to do. So I don't know. It's just more of an experiment to me. Something that I like to do in addition to what I already do. But it's not my. I do not aspire to have a band where I do many parts with growl or scream or something like that. It's not. I find it, what I do is sufficient to me right now. Is maybe with the little doses of growl here and then, uh, that I could insert in my future songs, but just a little bit. I wouldn't see myself doing that extensively. Okay, but who knows? Maybe in the next few years I will change my mind. I don't know, but right now that's what I think. So as of today, it's just a little experiment, but I don't feel confident at all.
Someday you could do new metal.
Mm.
I think, well, not easy because I can sing those,
I
but if you
don't
can
know.
those.
It's difficult because when a singer tries to do something different and explore new territories, there's always this fear of losing what you already have, what you have built. So when I started to study my to build my chest vocals, I was worried that I could lose my higher notes that were so easy to come to me. This was not the case, but sometimes even with the harsh vocals, it can be the same. You know, maybe I'll be better with growl or scream, but I don't want to lose what I already can do with in the other registers. So there's always this fear that blocks me a little, even though if done the proper way, this should not be the case. But you know, because the voice is so delicate, it's not like other instruments. You can damage it not easily, but it's not that difficult to damage it. So every one of us who try and sing in an extensive way or in a semi professional way should be aware that he should be careful what they do and who they study with. That is a very important thing because there are some people who teach who can be if they're not properly qualified, they can be dangerous to their students. So that's another thing. But you can damage your voice. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing it.
And how does the European audience compare with the Asian one?
Okay, we should talk about Japan, you know, separately from any other country, I think, because in Asia I performed in Malaysia and in Japan. Okay, in Japan, they are very fond of music in general. They're very passionate about music. And so I think it's one of the best places on earth to perform at because people are very warm. They're very enthusiastic about live shows, even though when there are small ones, even though we're even when we're talking about underground music, they're very passionate about it. This happens in Italy too, but way less. That is common there. They're very warm, a little. They're a little crazy sometimes with their idols. You know, they buy everything they can buy. They're they're big enthusiasts. So I recommend every artist should perform at least once in Japan, even if it's not in big venues, big events. They're very nice people, and also Japanese because we performed with the other Japanese bands there. They're also very nice people, very helpful, very friendly, very. It's a very tight community, so it was a very nice, very interesting experience for all of us, and I would do that again in a split second if they called us, please come back. I'll go I'll go straight away. And Europe, it depends, but I don't want to, you know, to talk bad about my country, but I found out that performing in other European countries, it's a little more rewarding, okay? Because basically in places like Germany and Switzerland and the Czech Republic and Poland, um, metal music is more popular. So it's more mainstream, a little more mainstream. In Italy, it is not. Basically, we're a little community, not at least not as many people as in this, European countries nearby. Not as many people listen to metal as they do, outside. And also in Italy, the metal music is confined to the north part and a little bit of the center of Italy. But unfortunately, because they don't have many venues and it's not convenient for foreign bands to come down to the south, uh, they don't have many opportunities there in the south of Italy. So not many people can go, even if they want to, they can't go to concerts, and don't many people listen to metal. So you basically perform in the north of my country. So that's another thing. Maybe if you go to other European countries, there's not this big geographical division. So it's surely better outside in the other confining European countries that it is in Italy. But Japan is, out of the graph. So that is way better than everything else. For of course, if you go the best of the best in general for a metal artist is to perform at the big big summer festivals. Those are, the places with the big crowds, big stages, people coming from abroad to see the bands performing. So that's the best possible crowd ever, the best places to perform. So if I should um, choose the best possible way to perform is summer festivals. Those are even in Italy, they're way better than other venues and events that are held during the rest of the year, because venues tend to be smaller, while when you have these big fields, you can build big stages and also have interesting street food to eat. The weather is warmer, and so okay, maybe it's not the best for us artists when we have to do the sound check when there's like 35 degrees outside in the afternoon. Okay, that's the downside, but I think they're the best situation for an artist. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes. Do you have any personal ritual or technique before going on a stage to take care of your voice?
There are many things that I don't do. No, I don't drink any alcohol. I don't drink any caffeine. Okay. I tend to, I have the wonderful candies that are licorice candies for some reason make me feel better. I feel my throat is for some reason healthier when I take these candies. And ginger doesn't work for me. Many singers, eat and drink ginger tea or ginger juice. I like it as the taste. I like it, but I can take it right before singing because I don't know. It makes my throat ache a little, so ginger is not for me. And one thing, this is not for the voice, but that I always do the day of the performance, I do some stretching for the back and for the neck, because I really like to do some headbanging, and in general move a lot on stage. And if I didn't do that, I would have, neck ache, this part aching the day after. So I always do that. If I have more time, I do a long stretch. Otherwise, just 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes, it's sufficient. Okay, other things that I do, I don't think, just a little warming up, but nothing long and particularly difficult, or just a little warm up. And I don't think there are any other rituals, but if I can, I like to be by myself right before the show, or at least in the backstage. Because I have to focus on what I'm about to do, to be relaxed. Um, because if I am in the middle of the crowd with people approaching me, okay, I'm not comfortable. I'm comfortable to do that after the show, after what I have done my show, and I can talk with everyone else. Also, this way I don't strain my voice, because if there's a loud volume of the music, other bands playing, or the background music has a loud volume, I can strain my voice just talking to people. So I prefer to do it afterwards. If there's a proper backstage when I can be by myself or with my bandmates, or just the crew, and um, or other bands even, but just be in the backstage and not directly in contact with the audience before the show. To me, it's better. I try not to be rude, but because maybe I'm just crossing the pit, because I'm just trying to um, maybe solve some technical issue, or I have to talk to someone at the venue and people stop me and want to talk. And I don't want to be rude. I try not to, but sometimes I have to cut them off, because, sorry, I can't spend time right now with you talking, because I have to do this. If you want us to do a proper performance with everything working, okay, you should be patient and we can talk afterward.
Mhm. If you had to recommend one album that truly marked your life, which one would it be and why?
One album of other band? This is
Yes.
what you're okay? Just one album.
Yes.
Hmm. No, it's too difficult. Just one. Okay, no, it's too difficult. Um, okay, I really, it's personal. Really like Remedy Lane by Pain of Salvation. Um, okay, um, it's my husband's fault if I fell in love with Pain of Salvation, because he was the one introducing me to them when we met. And this is one of the first album I listened to. And also, I like, but this is not metal. I really like a British band, AOR band, that's called Ten, with Gary Hughes at the voice. No one knows them for
No,
some reason,
no, you one.
but
Yes.
I like everything of them, everything, and there are many. I like Babylon and Spellbound are two of my favorite albums. So this I can recommend even to people who don't usually listen to metal. but they should listen at least to a little bit of rock. Otherwise, I don't know if they can appreciate it. And okay, I've said three. Do you need more?
I will listen to them because
Okay, I
now,
can write them to you if you are
yes,
curious.
yes.
Okay.
And what does a normal day in your life look like outside of the stage?
Would have to be a day in my life.
Yes, a normal day of your life
Mm.
when you are not performing.
Okay. Okay, I don't know if I can tell you privately. Okay, because there are many things I do that have nothing to do with music. So I tend to keep the different aspects of my life separate. So I tell you in private, but I won't say it on interview if it's okay to you.
No, it's
Okay,
fine.
don't get offended. Okay, it's
No,
just that I tend to be just the singer on social media. Okay, but I'm not just a singer, but I'll tell you in private if it's
I
okay.
understand.
Okay.
The metal scene is full of powerful women. What does it mean to you to be part of this generation of female voices in the genre?
Okay. One thing I like is that today there are more and more um, women in metal. Okay, not so much. I would like to see more female metal musicians, and not just singers. But I like that it's more appreciated, even though um, it's still an environment where most people are men. So it's never enough. Okay, but at the same time, um, I'm I would have liked to be part of the scene many years before, when the first big bands with female front woman came out, because it was um, probably a better era for metal in general. So, and there was less competition. Okay, so I would have liked to be a metal singer in the early 2000s, maybe. But I appreciated that now there are more and more women, so that's a good thing. I don't like. Okay, I'm sorry because sorry. And just um, I move too much, and okay. Um, I'm sorry because it's called femme metal. You're right. But I think we should um, go beyond the classification of female metal, because it's not a proper genre. I like that you promote female singers and musicians and female bands. That's a good thing. But I don't like that sometimes it's considered a music genre, because we don't all do the same things. There are we can do uh, we can do metalcore or symphonic
Yes,
metal
yes.
or progressive metal or power metal or heavy metal or folk metal. So it's not a genre just because there's a woman behind the microphone. This classification I would like to um, overcome. I would like to go beyond this kind of classification, especially because sometimes promoters for festivals and shows in general, they tend to put bands with the female singer together in the same at the same event, even though they're doing completely different things. And okay, if that's the only way to play, okay, but we should go beyond that. We shouldn't just group women together to make them play. Okay, it's one thing is that's more understandable is putting bands that do the same genre together regardless of who's singing. But and sometimes they do it. It depends. I saw that in Japan they tend to do that. They don't. It doesn't matter who's singing. Sometimes they just put metal bands together that do completely different things in general. But in Italy, they tend to put female-fronted metal bands together, and just that. And for specific events, it's okay. It just shouldn't be the only way, to see female-fronted bands. That's what I think. But okay, and about what I feel about being in this environment, male-dominated environment. Okay, for my personal story, I've always been in an environment where it was almost only women. Okay, growing up, the schools that I attended, and I was always surrounded by women, so it was an interesting change, to be one of the few. And so, with this experience, I saw that there's a downside to to both situations. Okay, the ideal would be to have 50-50 because there's a balance that way, but it's very rare to have a place where there's 50% man and 50% women. It's almost impossible to have that. So of course you have to, not only in musical but in society in general, a woman has to um, has to make a bigger effort to be listened to. This, I, especially with people who don't know her well at first, you have to be, to me, to make a bigger effort, I think. Even though people sometimes think it's the total opposite because of the looks, but one thing is, to have people look at you because you're cute or attractive, and one thing is people listening to you and treating you as a person and someone who has something to say, something interesting to say and to do. That's a totally different thing. Okay, it's not that we have it easy because, oh, okay, you're cute, you can do whatever you want. It's not that. It's definitely not that. But I have been, even though sometimes I had to, be confident in my opinions, in what I wanted to do, and because people didn't didn't really believe me, listen to me properly at the first. At first, I can say that I have been, in general, I have been lucky because I haven't been treated poorly in my musical career by anyone. So I haven't experienced the worst that a woman can experience when it's a male-dominated field. I can't really complain. So even though, as I told you, maybe there are a little bit of struggles sometimes, because even when, okay, I'm a feminist basically, and so I see when even well-intentioned, good-intentioned people, men and boys in general, but sometimes they have internalized some prejudice, even though they don't realize it. So sometimes we have these bigger struggles because they don't realize they have a little bit of prejudice. But in my personal experience, I didn't have to, go against something more massive, more okay, some really bad situation or anything. It's just little things that where you see the patriarchy that has entered our societies, permeated our societies, even when people don't realize. People, well-intentioned people, generally open-minded people, but sometimes they fall too. Sometimes women fall too, for some for some prejudices against other women. So but I think
Okay,
that's
so
not something exclusive to music. I think it's something you see everywhere. So I don't see a worse situation than anywhere else.
and do you have any advice you would like to give to people who are watching us?
To people who are
Who are
singing or performing, uh,
advices you would like to give to people who will be watching this video?
people who are watching, okay, regarding what, if they want to do some music or anything else.
Yes,
Some
anything.
advice. Okay, if they want to make music. Okay, I don't know if I'm okay. The best person to give provide advice like I am, some famous star or anything. But what I would do is be true to yourself as an artist, because sometimes you can end. Sometimes you can. Do some compromises because you can't do exactly what you wanted with your music. Maybe to gain a little bit of experience, or in a band you always have to make some compromises. So it's important to keep that balance, between following your instinct and your your aspirations as an artist, what you want to do, what you truly want to do, and not just completely wipe out what you are just because that's what the market asks, or they tell you that the market asks, because that's not always true. But at the same time, you should be open, because sometimes the best experiences are not what you were looking for. And also, to be in a band, if you are in a band, you have to collaborate and make some adjustments and do some compromises always. Otherwise, you can't be in a band if you don't do a little bit of compromise without losing yourself. So that's the balance you have to find. That's always a good advice I would give anyone, basically. Even for another kind of career, you have to find that right middle ground, between what you really would like to do, but also what you can do. There's always the middle ground, and you can find rewards in the middle ground too. You can't you can aim for the stars, but you have to look at the next step, uh, the the upcoming step before shooting for the stars directly. Just a little step at the time and see what the future brings to you.
So thank you so much for being here with me today. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for my blabbering, because if I start,
No, it's fine.
I go on and on and on.
No, I wanted to say today I'm really sick because I had my period. I look like horrible.
Oh, you're
And
so
I
nice.
feel like I'm not in the world today. I listened
Thank
to
you.
all everything you said and everything, so but it's a
Thank you.
day for me. It's horrible.
Thank you. It was so nice. Sorry because sometimes I didn't hear you well, but as I told you, it's not. Also, I told you that I have a little hearing impairment on my left ear that somehow I managed to control, and I still manage to control. So, but so I still hear notes properly, and I managed to not be off key even if I have this little hearing impairment from one side. Okay, so very nice interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll let you know when I go to Milan.
Yes,
I'm going
please
to Milan.
come. Please come. I
Okay.
can bring you around and show you the most interesting places. I would love to.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
me too.
Okay.
So, have a nice day. Or
You
evening.
too. You too. It's the evening here, but it's okay. You have a nice day.
Evening and maybe tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Bye then.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Lizzie. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure.